getting dicey.
And don't forget the unconscious Lorros at 6 feet. And...
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that Lorros was dead yet again. At the
I don't think that's fair to assume at any given ending of an episode.
That was just the starting.
Yeah.
Starting state.
Yeah. That's how I start the episodes.
yeah.
It's going to be a real shock if you're actually not dead at the end of a session.
I'll just assume he is, and we'll start the next session on death saving throws.
It's fair. I can just knock my health points down so I can start with death saving rolls. That's fine.
yeah.
I have no problem with this.
All right. Well, so let's get right into it. What would the conscious people like to do?
I'd like to get Sigg's help to drag Lorros back into the room, and hopefully either heal or administer a potion of some kind. Sigg, could you help me with the big guy?
Indeed, I'll take the shoulder, you take the feet.
Save your potions. Magic is the answer here. How's he looking? Is he dying yet again?
It looks like they're taking them into the south room, so you probably can't really ask much from where you are.
Miraqen? I thought they were coming to me.
Of course they are. Why would they not?
I shall tie up the unconscious Redbrand.
Okay, great. Give me a survival roll on that, just so we can see how good you tie this Redbrand up.
Oh, I'm very good at knots.
No.
It's always... Are we going to get the first three
I'll start with
the
a
night?
brag.
And then fail the roll. It's a 3.
Then fail with critical.
That's the best way.
I'm rolling.
Oh, tried so hard to fail that.
Okay, so one of the things.
I rolled a 6.
One of the things I want to do. I want to do a little differently from here on in, because I also, as a DM, leveled up to level 3 over the week, where instead of telling you how successful things are, I'm just going to say that Miraqen tied that knot to the best of her capabilities.
Oh, mean.
All right, so we don't know. This is going to be the same for a lot of these other ability checks. I'm just going to tell you what your character sees from the roll without me telling you sort of divulging any other information.
Someone's been talking to other DMs.
This is concerning.
Yeah. So Miraqen, you grab the rope out of your bag and you tie him up. You stand back and you look at it, proud with what you've done. What would you like to do next?
Try again.
Call out down the hallway. Is everyone safe down there?
Lorros is dead again.
Are there any more zombie goblins?
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, the zombies, they keep coming back up. It's the same ones.
All right, I'm coming back. I don't want to be alone.
Mr. Gill,
I'm
perhaps
going to join my compatriots.
Perhaps you look after Mr. Ross. I'll stand watch in the stairwell.
Excellent idea. And I'm going to forage for some sort of healing or something amongst these goblins. See if I can find anything useful.
Yeah. Okay. So these are spawned goblins by the viewers. So as we've sort of laid out before, they'll have some sort of special weapon or item on them. And just to prove my point, we've got a chair from Random Origins again. I'm just trying to find my pen. Which means he has, of course, a point of inspiration to offer somebody. He's banked that. All right, so the first one, the first goblin you check, which is the one closest to you at the moment there, Gil, has a potion of healing on it. And if we check, I believe there was a total of, well, two bodies, but they were spawned twice. So this one has, all right. We're gonna do something interesting here. You notice a spell scroll next to that potion of healing as well. And that spell scroll looks to be a Ray of Frost cantrip. That second goblin also has a potion of healing and a potion, basically, and another potion. Oh, that's what I'm going to say for now. You might have to do some research on it.
What color is the other potion?
It's a light blue. It's a light blue potion.
Like this.
Yeah, that's the one. You've managed to. You managed to find. You managed to. He's for those listening. He's holding up a small homemade blue potion, which was almost too perfect. If you want, you can give us a history check to see if you recognize the type of potion it is.
History. I think back to the very few times I've ever been in a classroom, and I think, what could this be with a 21?
And you recognize it instantly as a potion of climbing.
Potion of climbing. I see.
So from the two goblins, you've got 2 potions of healing, a potion of climbing, and a cantrip of, what did I say that one was? That was a
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost.
Everybody loves Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost is awesome.
No.
It is a fantastic spell.
Is that usable by anybody, or is it specific?
So that can, if you have the cantrip in your class, if you have that cantrip for your class, you can use it.
I see.
Yeah. Anyone else can attempt to use it, but it may not go down well.
As like a little telescope, a rolled up piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hello, are you there?
Oh, this is great.
Do we assume that you're checking out the bugbear in that room as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, so that bugbear is just carrying 33 silver pieces, so it's 30, and he's also just seems to have a small iron key that's hung on his chest. Oh, sorry, on his waist. Sorry, it would be a weird place to hang on.
Yeah, he could have tied it to a nipple ring.
I guess.
Wait.
33 silver.
33 silver pieces, yeah. To make it nice and easy to divide between the 5 of you.
Yeah, well,
you're a treasurer, aren't you, Gil?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to allow the others to go before I do anything else.
Sure. Byron, what are you up to?
Well, I was just feeling pretty high in adrenaline after all the cutting off of heads and smashing and stuff, so I was just leaning against the wall. But I've just noticed these barrels in this room, so I'm just going to go in there and start tapping on them and see if they're sniffing them, see if there's any wine in there.
Can you give us an investigation check if you can?
Okay. Somehow. Okay, so sorry about this. Investigation. Yep, there we go. What do I get? 10. So I rolled a 5 plus 5.
Yeah, okay, cool. You can tell that the barrels are filled with something. You can't really tell what they are. You give it a sniff and you think maybe there's some petrol or something in a few of these. You're not quite sure.
Mysterious
liquid.
Mysterious liquid. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask this guy here. Is he knocked out?
He's unconscious right now. Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay. I'll just continue going around the room.
Okay.
Now's not the time.
Okay. As you sort of near the northern wall of this room, something you didn't notice before, maybe just because of the mayhem, is on the back wall up towards the left here, just next to the door, is this ornate hammer that is sort of like, it's got kind of like a stone frame around it. It's a decent sized hammer. It's got a stone frame around it, and it's got these clasps, these big metal clasps that are holding it against the wall.
Right. So this is like a tool room, like
so
shed.
It's more like a big warhammer. It looks like a massive weapon.
Can I investigate it? See if there's anything special about it, or
Yeah. Give us an
the
investigation check.
class?
I'd really like to see you try and pick it up.
You'll probably pick me up. Well, I got a 20.
Perfect. Okay, so so the details. It looks like it's got sort of fine carving around the head of the actual hammer. But what's more interesting is on that stone frame, at the bottom of the stone frame, there's maybe a 3 or 4 inch wide kind of gap underneath it. It looks to be pretty slim, about that sort of wide, about that sort of thick. Almost like a sharp oval in shape, and on either side of that is just is a bird's wing.
Okay, so it's like a slot, like a letterbox.
Yeah, it looks like like a small slot. You can't really tell how deep that goes, but yeah, I think the wing a wing either side.
Sigg's sword. I'm just gonna yell out to Sigg. And maybe because his sword has wings on it, doesn't it? Or am I imagining that?
Oh no, yeah, that's right. The talon that he's carrying has sort of like the bird of prey wings coming up from the hilt.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna yell out to Sigg down there. Sigg!
Yes, Baron. What is it?
I think I've found something you might be interested in, or maybe you could bring your sword.
Shut up, Brian.
Indeed.
There's 4 guys around here. Just don't even know where we're alerting it. We can't be just shouting around down here.
If all that murdering and slamming didn't get anyone's attention.
Alert more enemies.
Miraqen.
Inside voices.
My apologies.
Anyway,
watch the stairs.
Lorros is almost dead. I'm going to go help him. Can you please look after this chap on the floor and make sure he doesn't stab you in the back?
I will keep my blade at the ready.
Yeah.
This
He's
Brian
not very
fella,
helpful.
so
Sig-
lackadaisical.
Let me know if you find any wine.
I don't think you need to be any more relaxed.
Over to you, Sigg.
So Sigg reaches the plaque with the hammer on the wall, and he puts his sword down, and he gets his tome out, and he's like, looks through his book, and he looks up at the wall, and he looks over to Byron, who he can tell is extremely interested in what he's about to say. Baron, listen to me for a time. There was a story told in my village of Craigknoll that it was established only a few years before the first goblin attack came. The breach in the west wall was burned in much of the west fields. The raid was ended by a mysterious man who'd been working unassumably as the village blacksmith. He single-handedly drove back the invaders and restored safety to the village. He became known as the Forge Father of Craigknoll, and for the remainder of his years, the village lived in peace. Yet fears of another attack began to rise when he eventually passed away. Before he died, he gave instructions on how to ensure safety after he had gone. Sigg looks over to Byron to see if he's listening.
I'm listening.
Sigg will give him another tick a bit later.
Taken unawares by this interesting story. Continue.
After the Forge Father's death, the elders of Craigknoll took his enchanted necklace, which housed a mysterious gem, and sent it to Phandelver. Baron, that's where we are now. Upon arrival, the forged stone was split into 12 pieces. Each was crafted into a weapon upon the Forge of Spells. Over the many years since then, all have been lost. It has been foretold that whenever Craigknollian need is dire, one such weapon will always make its way into the hands of one that can wield its power. Sigg looks up at the hammer and he's like, Mr. Baron, what do you propose of this little slot here? Have you tried to take the hammer?
I was going to make a joke about a glory hole, but after your story, I'm going to take it much more seriously, Sigg. You've just found a sword with wings on the side, and this has got a slot with wings on the side. It's a hunch, but maybe if you put the sword into that slot, something might happen.
I like your thinking, Mr. Baron. So draws out talon and carefully pokes it into the hole.
As you push it in, you can hear kind of steel on steel as it scrapes its way into this small opening. And as you push it flush to the hilt, you hear this metallic crunching sound, and the hilt drops to the ground. And where there was that slot, there is no more. It seems to have been the perfect sealing tool for this thing. The small metal buckles on this hammer like crack open, and the hammer drops to your feet in front of you.
Sigg bends down and he picks up the Craigknollian battle hammer.
What the
And he
fuck?
shows it to Byron.
Wow. Holy guacamole.
And upon here, you see the Craigknollian shield.
What
see-
the hell?
The breach of the west wall with the gobos coming in. You see the Forge Father fending against the gobos in the town hall. And in an aerial view, you see the village of Craigknoll and the little things.
The prophecy has come true. That is insane. That is so detailed. The Baron is just dumbstruck.
All right, for those who are listening, like Reece has just held up this amazingly homemade. Well, no, when I say underselling
Yeah,
it. Like this is an amazingly well crafted,
Like a movie prop.
Warhammer, and it does. It looks amazing.
Insane.
Wow.
Right.
Pictures all across it, or like bas reliefs across the entire faces of the hammer.
Was that a one-handed hammer or two-handed hammer, Sig?
In game terms, it's a one-handed hammer. It's just massive because massive.
I think Lorros is at least a little disappointed that wasn't for him.
I'm so wanting that. I'm like looking at the hammer going, I want that hammer.
This has worked out so perfectly.
I have a
we
question
found
though.
that
Does
thing.
that mean that Talon is gone?
Talon has been destroyed to take the place of the Warhammer.
Did the handle fall to the ground?
The hilt-
There's no blade.
That's correct.
Wow, okay.
It's the blade has sealed that small hole. The small hole. Reece, I'm not
Turned
sure if
into
you.
a pipe or something.
It's
Crack pipe.
what? Hey, what? What's happening with the?
That'd be like a
the
cool
hilt?
pipe. Yeah, with the hilt. Woo.
By all means, the Baron can manufacture that into whatever he likes. Reece, that is a +1 weapon as well. Just so it's going to take the place of Talon.
Sweet.
Cool. Miraqen, what are you up to down in the South Hall? South Room, sorry.
I've come to see Lorros and see if I can help him. I fear we should not waste potions. I still have some magic power. And I speak elven words over Lorros and cast healing word on him to restore him, which I will do in a second.
In a second, stop it.
Because I now have 100 million spells to choose from, so they're really hard to find.
Mm.
Did I cast it? Oh, it's pranking me. Here we go. For 6 healing.
All right. So Lorros kind of opens his eyes again for the 100th time. And what does Lorros do in response? You're on mute, by the way, Dave.
So Lorros is just kind of looking there a bit woozy. Oh, my head. What hit me? Looking
Search
around,
me.
Multiple things.
Looking at my chest again. I was like, I have a few more scars. I'm good. Tries to sit up. Whoa, head rush. What's going on? Yeah, I'm just kind of...
First of all, are you having any urges to eat any raw bugbear meat? Because that was quite frightening.
No, but I have a
It's
weird
not all
metallic taste. I have a weird metallic taste in my mouth. What the fuck?
Oh, he doesn't know about his Mayor McCheese moment.
Why do I have blood all over my face? What the hell?
Yeah,
Yes,
you can see up against
you may
the...
have blacked out and had a cannibalism moment.
Yeah, and Lorros, you can see across behind Miraqen is just this bugbear with basically half a head with clear bite marks taken out of its face and neck area.
What happened to him?
You did.
No, that's not. Nah, I wouldn't do such a thing. That's not me.
Okay. All right.
The rage is deep, but it's not that violent. I would not do such a thing.
Cool. Gil, what are you up to?
Miraqen, do you think? What do you think we should do from here? I'm in need of some rest myself. Lorros obviously is as well.
Well, we do have more healing supplies if it is needed, but the first thing we ought to do is get that Redbrand under control before he wakes up and starts hollering at the top of his lungs, don't you think?
Yes. What?
He mentioned Iano.
Of course. Shall I go and talk to him?
Shall we all?
Yes.
Are you done? Have you found anything good? Is there anything more to be found? More potions, perhaps?
I came across a couple of potions here. Lorros, I suggest you hold at least one of these.
Hold or drink? I'm pretty much in dire need of anything right now.
Well, if we spend some time resting, it may be better to hold on to this in case of emergency.
Okay, I will trust your counsel. Have we searched all the bodies in this room?
All the bodies in this room. So this one has not been searched, and nothing in the other room.
Okay. And we okay. I'm
guessing we can just check on the way past.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty weak, so I'm pretty much just gonna hang wherever you guys are because nowhere else is safe.
Okay. In response to Miraqen as well, I'll say, I also came across this other scroll. I think the Baron could make use of it, perhaps. I'm not sure if you or I have the capability.
A magic
I also came
scroll.
across this other potion. Look, it's blue. I believe it's a potion of climbing, so if we need to scale any massive walls or anything like that, it would be most helpful.
Handy. Very good to know. Thank you. Shall we head through and join the others?
Yes.
Very wise.
Can I just check the bugbear on the way past?
Yeah, you give him a quick frisking and don't find anything on this bugbear. It looks like the majority of their stuff was left in their room, along with their weapons. You may remember when you met them, they were all just sort of bullying a goblin and didn't have any weaponry on them.
Cool. Can we just check the rest?
Yeah, a quick look around this room. You see most of the Redbrand's belongings are actually on the small table. It looks like they were betting, maybe like playing some sort of card game, or there's small stones. You're not really sure what they were doing, but they're playing something. And let's have a look. What's sitting on the table?
It's not 3 Dragon Ante?
Unfortunately, you don't recognize it as that. It looks like there's like a few piles. There's a lot of... I'm just going to round it up for you guys in gold piece terminology. But it looks just because that's probably easier this time. It looks like there's about 25 gold pieces made up of a bunch of different types of denominations, and a small golden earring with a small tiny ruby placed within it. The only other thing I've noticed is this bugbear that died in front of this table seems to have a wolf pelt around its wrapped around its stomach, including the tail coming off the side. That's the only other thing of real note.
Ignore it.
I, on the other hand, am very interested in this piece of equipment.
I thought you might be.
I'm just going to take it off him and carve the tail off carefully. So
I trust he's wearing things underneath it, yes?
Yeah, he's also got his usual kind of stuff on it.
I'll lay it over him. I'll lay the rest of the pelt over him to keep him...
You uncover a massive bugbear dong!
Finally, this roleplay is going where I want it.
Miraqen blushes. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. That's a whole new roleplay that we're doing. Whole new level.
Okay, great. So you've managed to get yourself a wolf tail out of
Yeah,
this,
so I
Lorros.
just wanted to, I'm just going to tie it around. Well, I fix it. You tie it to the base of my axe.
Yeah, cool.
So it's kind of just there as a bit of a thing.
Cool. Yeah.
but
So,
it's a statement piece.
Yeah, it's a statement piece. That's right.
so yeah. Other than the riches on the table, there's nothing else on the bodies of these Redbrands.
Okay, you guys cool if I just keep it in a treasury sheet?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
When it comes to spending it, we'll expect
Yeah.
some kind of greatness.
It's just easier than like everybody going through the motions of like dividing everything up.
I'm glad everyone's here again, all together, safe.
Can we close the door just to feel a
Safe-ish.
little extra safety? I would be quite uncomfortable with us being rushed while we're contemplating our next move.
Yeah,
Can we just barricade the doors?
yeah. By all means, spend some time.
I noticed there's 2 doors, north and south.
Did you want to barricade both? What were you wanting to do?
Oh, I'm particularly keen to barricade this one, so I wouldn't mind just moving the table and blocking that one up because that's kind of where I've sit. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's the main access. So I just want to block that up and put the table there.
Yeah, that's fine. You can spend the next 5 minutes getting that barricaded.
Cool.
What would the other guys, the other crew, like to do?
Could I listen at this door?
Yeah, certainly. It seems relatively quiet. Can you give me a perception check?
Perception. That's okay. There's a 19.
It's very faint, but you can hear kind of like faint, like bubbling and dripping sounds. Just kind of slight bubbling. And it sounds like it's either far away or muffled by something.
Bubbling and
dripping.
Dripping, but no talking or
No, there's
no people
surprisingly,
walking or
there's no voices, at all.
well, there's bubbling and dripping through here.
There is.
If anyone's interested.
Should we have a look, Byron?
Okay, just a quiet peep through the peephole.
Do we need to be opening a door straight away? Can we not just wait?
Well, I'd like to know. We could barricade it, but if someone's on the other side and they could come through any minute, I'd like to know about it.
I'm not worried about barricading it, but I'm just worried about opening the door and welcoming more trouble than we're prepared to take right now. Excuse my caution, but yeah,
Sure.
I don't like dying.
Would you like to wait an hour for a short rest, or
Well,
it's up to you?
how long do we all think this Redbrand will take to
Yeah,
wake up? I'm sure he's got something to tell us.
Let's splash
Okay.
some water on this guy and wake him up, and just keep an eye on that door. Given the other door is now kind of blocked, we've got at least now just one door to watch.
Yes, I agree.
Surprisingly sound advice, Mr. Lorros.
Yes.
I'll
my
guard the
moment.
door to the north.
I will guard these barrels. I'm just going to rap on them.
Gil, perhaps you'd like to wake our sleeping guest and see if we can't extract some information from him.
Yeah. I just kneel down next to him, just brandy. Red brandy. Wakey, wakey. Rise and shine, my friend.
Are you doing anything to him or just speaking to him?
I'm just like giving him a little like shake awake and just saying soft words in his ear.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be rousing from such gentle. Yeah.
Perhaps a bit more force is required, Gil.
Time to rise and shine, my friend.
Oh, my head! Oh my god! And he holds onto his stomach with he's if you've forgotten the last thing that happened to him, he was already drunk, so he's already got a bit of a hangover. But Lorros, the end of Lorros's axe, rammed straight into his stomach, basically doing some serious. It was like 11 damage. Like it knocked this guy down. So he's got some serious internal bleeding situation going on right now. He's just holding
a few ribs up.
Yeah, and he's just holding onto his stomach at the moment.
I'm going to say to him, "You, my friend, you are one wild and crazy guy. Do you remember last night? Oh my God, that was mental."
Okay, can you roll deception for me, please?
Before I do, can I cast friends on him?
Yes, you may.
Jeez.
So I'm trying to treat him like a friend, so he thinks like he's forgotten something important. So with friends, if he's not hostile towards me, I gain advantage on charisma checks.
Okay, all right.
But it only lasts for a minute, and then he gets angry.
Okay, because he's aware, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go, yeah.
I'll roll deception.
Yeah. With advantage.
I rolled a 26.
And he's like, "Oh, mate, I don't know what happened at all, but my stomach is killing me, mate. What's with the ropes?"
You tied yourself up. It was crazy. I don't know how you did it.
And he just kind of wiggles a little bit. He wiggles a little bit, and the ropes just
one crazy guy. You like jumped on top of a table leg with your stomach and knocked yourself out.
And he kind of just wiggles a little bit, and the ropes just sort of fall free from him. Which kind of sells it that maybe he did tie himself up even a bit more. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I've got a bit of a memory of what happened. Oh, mate, really." And he goes to sort of like look around the room. So you've got a chance to kind of like he's on the ground. And he's just kind of like looking around to see the mayhem
Stop him looking
within the room.
I'm just gonna kind of like obscure his view and just be like, "You drank a lot and things kind of went south. You are a crazy guy. I tell you that much."
Are you trying to stop him from seeing the room, or?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like.
Okay. I'll get a dexterity. I'm gonna get a dexterity. So you're like, "Hey, ho, hey," side to side, trying to stop him.
Surely that must be advantage, given he's kind of practically comatose.
Well, he's looking around, like, if he's looking up here and then he's looking down here, Gil has to be able to get in his way to be able to fully block it.
Just grab his head.
Yeah,
Stop
it. I rolled a 12.
Oh, dear.
Okay. So, and I'll also get you to roll with advantage another deception roll.
He's 16.
Oh.
Okay. So he's lying there and he's looking around and he sees you managed to like block him from seeing the carnage near the table, but he sees over in the other corner one of his dead comrades. And then he hears in your mind. He hears in your words. He did go. Things got a little bit crazy last night. That he got a little bit crazy. He's like, "Oh, not again! Oh, mate! Oh no! This isn't the last. This isn't the first time this has happened. It's probably not going to be the last. Oh, I've got a bit of a rage on me when I drink."
Oh, I like this guy.
To be fair, he was. So I assume I saw what he saw. Like,
yeah, you see. Yeah, you follow his gaze to see the dead body on the corner.
Well, to be fair, he was cheating. So, I mean, somewhat justified.
And he goes to get up. He goes to stand up, and he's kind of holding his stomach.
Easy, my friend. I think you are out for a wee while yet.
What are you guys all doing here anyway? And he's looking around at a lot of strange faces.
You invited us here. Do you not remember?
Not a thing, mate. Not a thing.
Oh, you suggested we may want to meet Iano, and perhaps we could be of use to him.
And he stops as his face goes like loses all emotion from it. The pain that he was showing, the sort of the confusion he was showing just clears from him. And he just says, I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Oh man.
You don't remember?
And he starts to look a little pained in his head, like some sort of fog is clearing in his mind. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Can we can obviously hear what he's saying, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Can we see that he's starting to, I guess, be a little bit difficult?
I mean, you can, yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear. He's not answering your questions. He's looking a little confused and struggled.
Okay, Gil, I suggest we end this now before he becomes too troublesome.
I'm gonna just put my hand up for a second and just say, you really won't make introductions like you said you could? We were very pleased to come here, and perhaps we could be of use to your organization.
I'll give you one more roll, this time persuasion with advantage.
Advantage. 23.
He kind of gets up to his feet, and walks right up to you now, Gil. And he goes to lean into your ear, to whisper into your ear, and he says, "You've got the count of 3 to get the fuck out of my room." As you can see that the friend spell has now worn off.
This is not going to end well for you, my friend.
3.
The count of 3.
What?
Power of 3.
Counting down. Or
Yeah.
count it up.
And he just holds his 3 fingers up in front of your face, like that close to your face, like centimeters from your face.
Yeah. Without even making any room, I'm just going to, like, quick as a flash, just draw my rapier and just kind of lean it through him.
Yeah. Roll to hit.
I rolled a 22.
Whereabouts are you aiming that?
Big rolls.
Just straight in the gullet.
Yeah, and it just goes straight in, and he just crumples to the ground with his 3 raised high.
And as he begins to slump to the ground, I just look him dead in the eyes and just mouth to him, 3.
And the life drains from his eyes, and he falls to the ground dead.
Well, that went well.
Wow, when the day comes when Gil loses his patience of all people, you know you've pushed us all too far.
Yeah.
He would not cooperate. I don't think anything more could be gained.
I'm pleased it was Gil and not myself questioning him. I suspect he would have lost his head a lot sooner.
We tried.
We did.
What now?
So just,
By the way,
oh, sorry, carry on.
can we just acknowledge for a moment that I turned into a mouse? Because it was
It was very impressive. I think I remember it before I died.
Is this Miraqen saying this?
Yes. That was adorable.
That sounds
Anyway,
brilliant, Miraqen.
A mouse is a rodent, is a mouse, right? It's a mouse.
It was pretty
It's tiny.
incredible.
I'm surprised it didn't get stood on, but well done.
Miraqen, I propose that technique could be most valuable to see our way forward through this. place.
Indeed, I agree. But we were talking of resting, and what do we all think of that?
So
I certainly could do with some more healing, rest, whatever one may call it. I'm not sure I can do much else on such low health right now.
So what I will say, since you guys have entered here, you guys sort of ventured into the Redbrand hideout just before Tresenda Manor, around 8 o'clock at night. You've been down here for a good 3 hours. It's about 11. It's about 11 o'clock. It's about 11 o'clock at night right now.
It's Lorros' bedtime. It's time to sleep.
I mean,
he's already here.
That if we were to spend the full night here, the remaining Redbrands and Phandelver would cause havoc with the remaining villages.
Surely they'd be all asleep now.
We know
We cannot risk it.
There's nothing a Redbrand likes more than a good night's sleep.
Well, even the bad guys need to sleep. You know, how can they go marauding through towns if they're not well rested?
What
You're
time?
probably playing bedtime, 11 p.m. bedtime.
I
The
myself
night is young,
know.
Lorros. The night is young.
I myself know that marauding through towns needs a good solid 8 hours rest. you can't go spending the day marauding through a town without some decent sleep on behind you.
Mr. Lorros,
Take it.
I have a question for you. Would you
Fire
not
away.
prefer to happen upon the Redbrands while they sleep? We could rest
would
for a
be-
time,
they
then
would
press
be
our
easier to
advantage.
I agree. A sleeping Redbrand is definitely easier to kill than an awake Redbrand. However, given I'm assuming our current state, given I just assume everyone's as injured as I am, it's not going to be terribly advantageous to start waking people by killing their friends.
Well, I feel I'm feeling fine and fancy-free. How's everyone else?
Have you seen the scars all over my chest? I'm covered.
I still have healing magic if it's needed, and we have potions as well. How's everyone else doing?
I'm okay.
I could use a short rest at least. I don't think we need to spend the night, but taking some time to dress our wounds and perhaps survey the area would be useful.
All right.
I'm in agreement, Mr. Gill.
Short rest it is then.
Sound logic.
Okay, so I've rolled a dice,
Oh God!
and I'm going to roll one more.
Was that multiple dice or a die?
It's multiple.
Die is both the singular and the plural, as it's dice.
Yeah, I've rolled multiple.
Look it up.
Look it up.
You're joking.
Google. I think it's American for die.
Die is singular. Dice is plural.
No, they're both plural and singular simultaneously.
What?
You can pick it.
When did that rule change?
Yeah.
It's like roll the dice, but it can be one. I don't know why we get into that. They're getting dicey meta
It's
chat.
semantics, I know, but it's one of
It's not it's the dictionary.
There we go.
It's literally the book of where semantics lived. Okay.
I'm gonna roll. What am I gonna roll? I'm gonna roll a
zero.
D6 and a D10.
If we get to do our rest, I have a thing to do.
Okay, so resting is what you guys are planning to do? Okay. Are you guys keeping watch? Is anyone not resting? What's the deal?
Well, it's just light action, right? Can
Light
we keep
activity.
our eye on? Can we ready an action while we're short resting? You can't.
No.
Okay.
Can I roll for cheese?
You can, and give us a cheese roll. You're in there's some provisions around this room. You can see what's available.
If I failed to do so when I was a mouse, it only seems logical now.
Well, it's with disadvantage then. You don't have the mouse nose.
I'll
So
accept
tasty. So with a roll of 13, you do spy a small cube of cheddar on the table with all the other provisions and treasures. Just a small little bite-sized piece. Well done.
I'll take that.
Well done.
I'll take that.
While we're resting, I've got this interesting looking ring that I found under the bridge downtown, and I want to sit down and maybe investigate it, try and figure it out, because it looks better made than I would expect.
Yeah, the one thing you did notice with that ring is it started just pulsating a slow sort of, because normally it's a white gold, but it's just it started like pulsing with yellow, a yellowish tinge as you entered this room. You didn't notice it until now that you've had a chance to get it out and take a look at it. Yeah. So 21 minutes into this rest, I'm going to say Lorros, because he's probably the closest to that door. Here's quite a commotion coming from outside. It might sound like it's a little bit away. It doesn't sound like it's right outside the door, but there's the sounds of people shouting.
Uh-oh. Be aware. It sounds like there's some people knocking, or soon to be knocking at our door. We've got a table round up against that door, so hopefully it's going to be difficult for them to just barge on in, but yeah. So it's only shortly after we've got...
rest is this?
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry, John?
How long into the rest is this?
20 minutes.
Okay.
What do you say we have a look through this door? Or do you want to barricade that and just cover who's coming in this door?
Do we want to send Miraqen off through that door as a mouse to investigate while we
I think we have like limited spell slots. If we're talking about magic,
I know nothing about spell slots. What are you talking about?
I can turn into an animal once more if need be. The first question is, could a mouse fit under the door?
Probably not. Yeah, there'd be enough room, I think, to squeeze out if you're a tiny little mouse. Sure.
Okay. I turn to everyone in the room and I say, if I'm not back in a few minutes, please come after me.
Okay. Sure.
Which door? The one with the table pushed up against it, or the north side door?
Which side were the noises coming from?
South.
Where should I go?
Go north.
North? See
if we can escape.
Okay, I'll scout out the escape route. I'll slip under the door as a mouse and see what I see.
All right. As you sort of shrink down to a mouse size, the room
I look adorable.
You look adorable, and the room is just enormous in comparison to what you're used to. It's a little disorienting at first, but you scuttle underneath the door, and as you scuttle underneath the door, you see another door right in front of you, a wall to your left, and a corridor with some stairs leading up to your right. Coming down the stairs, ever so quietly, are 2 Redbrands.
Are they walking stealthily as they know?
Yeah, they're walking stealthily, and they've got their short swords in hand.
Oh no! I suppose I better scuttle back whence I came.
I'll
head
you
back.
You don't hear any bubbling or anything? I'm just wondering.
Bubbling.
Okay, since you have...
what do I hear?
You do hear some bubbling and some dripping sounds, kind of almost like a lab sort of sounds, coming from the door that was in front of you.
Meth lab. Know what?
Oh, maybe I should just venture forward just a little bit more and see what's bubbling. Take the risk. I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Can I slip under that door also?
Yeah. So you scooch under that door as well, ignoring the Redbrands making their way down towards the door you've just come out from. And as you enter that room, the room appears. There's a big table in front of you. You're seeing it from a mouse's point of view, so you're not really seeing much detail of what's above you, because there's a big table sort of near the middle of the room. You can't see what's on top of it. It looks like there are some shelves across the western wall that look to have some sort of, I don't know, like distillation things and other sort of sciencey looking things on it, all bubbling away. And sort of sitting in the corner underneath the table, near the corner of the table, is just this disgusting-looking rat, maybe about double the size of yourself.
Oh,
And
I should like to turn pale and run.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to know if there was anything of note in there, and I need to get back and warn
All right.
my comrade.
As you make your way back through that door, you see one of the Redbrands standing at the door that you've originally scurried out of, and he's got his hand on the handle, and he turns to his mate, and he's just like, "Shh."
All right, am I able to scoot past him and back under the door?
Yeah, I'll get a dexterity check from you though.
I'm really good at rolling terrible with dexterity checks. Let's go. I've rolled a 14.
Cool, yeah, you managed to... the Redbrand, as he gets ready for the door, he steps down and he kind of stands on your tail. He's not. It doesn't seem to be doing damage to you, but you're trapped. You don't have enough force to get out from underneath his foot at the moment.
What? Oh. Well, this is a fine kiss of fish, then, isn't it?
What's the...
See, can you not just change back into your normal shape while you're under his foot?
Pardon?
Can you not just change back into your normal shape while you're under his foot and send him flying?
I'd rather
That's
not
what I-
reveal myself next to
Just get squashed.
two strong enemies.
But you're going to send a dude
I
flying.
will move his foot in a second, as he kills you all.
Can I get a...
or he squashes you.
Can I get a perception check from Lorros and Gil, please?
Sure. Perception.
But of course.
Perception. I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, cool. The door to the north opens ever so slowly. Gil and Lorros don't notice this door opening, but the Baron was kind of has been waiting expectantly for this Miraqen the mouse to return, and one of the Redbrands just walks through the door, sort of announcing his arrival.
Oh dear.
So Miraqen, you're no longer pinned by the thing, but Sigg, I'll get a what should I get from you? Because you were expecting you as well, Miraqen, to come through too, and the door's open to reveal a ruffian, this Redbrand. What I'll get from you is a perception roll as well, actually.
Indeed, sir. I rolled a 3.
Oh.
3.
That's a crit fail.
Okay, so we're not gonna roll the 100. We're just gonna say that for the moment that he walks in, you see Miraqen. For some reason, your brain's in another place. You were expecting Miraqen. You see this Redbrand as Miraqen, and until he opens his mouth and says, "You guys are out over. This is it. You think this is it, guys? You're out." And he swipes with his short sword into Sigg. So we're just gonna, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna roll for initiative.
They got away with words, those guys.
They do indeed.
Oh, where's my button?
I rolled a 12.
Oh. I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 10.
Sigg has rolled
I'm
18.
saving my roll for the best till last.
Now, due to both Gil and Lorros not being kind of aware of the door opening, the thing they hear first is the Redbrand calling out, but it's too late. He's managed to get a surprise round on the lot of you, except the Baron, who has been waiting for Miraqen to come through that whole time. So we're going to start with this Redbrand, who's going to attack with his short sword. And he crit fails.
Oh, take it.
Oh, wait, surprise. Wait, that's with advantage,
What?
isn't it? That's with advantage.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
No, that is right. That's surprise attack is with
It
advantage.
fails not.
Which he rolled a 2, so it was a 1 and a 2. So he still misses. He misses.
It's not a 3.
But he does swipe again against Sigg, rolling very well, higher than his AC, doing 7 damage to Sigg.
Oh, Sigg.
What?
Oh,
These Redbrands do a truckload of damage for dumbass bad guys.
Especially when I accidentally roll really well.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Don't roll well on purpose.
No, I
Yeah.
try not to. I know I've been practicing rolling, but I don't know. The other Redbrand is sort of in the back, but you can hear him call out, "This way, guys! This way!"
Oh, fuck, we're not in the mood for this. No. This
Um,
isn't even zombies.
So, just
sorry.
to interject, we did not successfully complete a short rest either, did we?
No, you did not.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Baron, it's over to you.
It's not even long enough for like a power nap.
Do you have like a nuclear bomb kind of spell, Baron?
A nuclear bomb.
Just
I probably wouldn't set it off in here. I'd be like a
Maybe
fireball.
just summon a dragon kind of thing. That'd be nice.
No, I think we're screwed. I'm going to hide in these little barrels. Just up against the wall here. And I am going to... Is that doable?
You can.
I'm not actually really hiding or anything, but I'm just going to try and like hunker down in there.
Are you trying to do you want to roll stealth, or like are you trying to hide yourself?
No.
You just
Maybe
kind of-
get a little bit of cover or something, like
Yeah.
maybe a barrel in front of my chest.
Yeah, we'll give you like an extra 1 AC for having that
Okay.
barrel in front of you.
Actually, it does quite a bit for me.
Okay, good.
So I am going to roll chill touch. So that's 1d20 plus 5.
It's
Chill touch. Oh, what did I get? 13. Is that?
nice.
yeah. That is unfortunately not enough. The ruffian takes 0 damage from your chill touch
0 damage.
because it misses.
Okay.
So he doesn't even feel it at
Doesn't
all?
doesn't even feel it.
Or is it just like, refreshing breeze?
Yeah. Yeah. Refreshing touch.
Refreshing touch, nice. Lorros misses his turn due to the surprise round. We are back to Sigg.
So Sigg has been struck, and he is finally aware of what's happening. And he raises his Craigknollian battle hammer, and he has heard the tales of their abilities, and he says, "Ready for battle."
Is it lit up inside? Does it glow inside?
Again, ready for battle.
I saw a little red light in there, but
Oh yeah, there it is.
oh, there it is.
There it
Yeah,
is.
there it is.
Ready for battle. Come on, you piece of shit.
I can see some red lights. In
Ready
there.
for battle.
Yeah, there's a red light there. It's just not dark enough to show through.
Okay.
It's like whispers lovingly to his,
Work you down.
Ready for
Ready
battle.
for battle.
come on, you piece of shit.
Come on.
All right. Toothbreaker, ignite.
Oh.
Oh shit. Can you hear
Is
that?
it doing something? You can hear it.
Oh whoa.
Make me a sandwich.
Okay, for podcast listeners, he's just talking into his hammer.
Ready for combat.
What the fuck?
There we go.
What the hell?
It's lit up.
All right, so now the hammer's lit up.
What?
So it's just gonna swing it in and smash it into the guy
All
with
right,
extra smashy. character.
How can I not give you advantage for that one?
What the hell? Oh, so jealous.
All right. So there, that's more than enough.
17.
Cool. Yeah, that sort of like comes down into he manages to move his head just out of the way as it smashes down into his chest plate, and kind of like gets knocked back, at least a smooch as you might put it, with the impact force.
Nice. That moment went a lot smoother in my head.
Product.
It was rusty
testing.
from sitting on the shelf for so long.
Yeah,
It's woken up now.
I forgot the words.
As a bonus action, Sigg will dwell upon the combat which he has seen Lorros expend recently and yell out to Lorros, "Lorros, lean to the left side when you strike!" And cast his martial ability of Rally, which gives Lorros temporary hit points equal to my superiority die plus my -1 modifier.
What the That's so confusing.
What's happening?
Pick a number.
So Sigg has rolled 8, -1 for my charisma, which means Lorros gains 7 temporary hit points, which he retains until he long rests.
Hey, nice.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
That's handy.
It is.
And then Sigg ends his turn,
Okay, cool.
baffled himself.
I haven't had to use temporary hit points before. What the heck?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess you use those up before you take any damage to your natural hit points.
It's like a sweet little shield.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Gil, over to you. You've seen this Redbrand. You've just seen this Redbrand off to your right take a massive hit from Sigg. You didn't even know this guy was there. And over his shoulder, you can see another one.
And if I move here,
you still only see those two.
I see. In that case, I'm going to move up here, and I'm going to, inspired by Sigg's gallantry, I'm going to stab this Redbrand as well.
Okay, give us a roll.
I rolled a 13.
13 is a miss. What were you using? Your rapier, were you?
Rapier, yes.
Yeah, it just kind of like hits a part of his armor and glances off with a small ting. Anything else for your turn there, Gil?
Is it?
Cool, Miraqen.
This is my fault. All right.
Oh, one could say that.
I do say that.
I disagree.
So, Miraqen, you're no longer pinned down by the Redbrand that originally stood on your tail.
Yes.
And what you can see at the top of the stairs now are 2 more Redbrands making their way down.
Oh, good lord. Oh, no. All right. I'm going to stay as a mouse. And I'm going to run forward and I'm going to try to bite the ankle as hard as I can of the Redbrand that's just entered the room in an attempt to distract him.
Wait. Do I need to get out
As a mouse? Yeah.
As a mouse.
You need to find out what the mouse attack is.
I believe a mouse has a strength of 2, which is equivalent to -4, if that makes any sense at all. It's not good.
I mean, how do you even roll to hit? What do you? I guess it's an unarmed attack.
A D20 minus.
Well, it's a toothy attack.
Method. I'm just having a look.
I've put this whole thing in a spin now.
Have you prepared a toothy attack, Miraqen?
No. I've got this bestiary here that says that the rat has a strength of 2.
But that's a rat.
You're a mouse.
Well, I can't find mouse, and there's the same difference, right?
No.
They're not the same difference.
Oh, okay.
Mouse, yay big, rat.
Even worse.
So a rat has a bite melee weapon attack. So +0 to hit, and it does 1 piercing damage.
So there you go. So roll a d20 to hit, and we'll see how you do. And which one are you biting? The one that's right in front of you outside the door?
The one that's closest inside the room that's just come through the door.
Oh, okay, cool. Where are you wanting to end up?
On his ankle.
She rolls
Biting his
in
ankle like
crits.
the magnificent I am. I've rolled a 20.
Natural
Like
20.
a nat 20.
I don't know what to do with this information for a mouse. You really
It's got to bite through the Achilles tendon, surely.
Yeah, just.
I'm
like,
feeling hungry for Redbrand.
maybe he's like a hemophiliac and he just bleeds out.
Maybe
Okay,
he falls over.
so and
He's
what's
really
the damage?
scared of mice.
What's the damage on that? Sorry, Gil, that was like 1
It was
piercing
1
damage. So at least it's 2 piercing damage for this guy. So you basically you run forward, and you find just the perfect spot on his foot, but you're distracted by like this. No. We'll say you managed to. He's got shoes on. He's got some sort of footing on, but you can just see like a small spot near his ankle, and you can just see you hone in on just this pulsing vein in his ankle, and you just like bite directly into that, and the pressure of this blood pushes you, sort of bounces you off in front of the Baron there.
Oh, brilliant!
And he takes two piercing damage, but he's also he's actually losing blood from this now. He looks down and sees like his blood pouring out of this new wound on his foot. And he's like, "Hey, what fucking mice!" And he kind of looks at you and like kicks out but misses, and just sprays blood in your direction as he does so.
There's a pretty sight.
Cool. It's the
That went better than expected.
it's the Redbrands. It's the Redbrands turn. So I'm assuming you're still a mouse. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So he's not at all like he doesn't care that there's a mouse in the room with everyone that he's got in front of him. But with the pouring of blood out of his foot at that time, he does lose 1 HP as it drains onto the ground. He moves towards to sort of face off against Gil, who is he's standing on the table for some reason. But that's all right.
There's no table there. It's
Oh,
been
that's
moved
right. That's right.
To barricade the door.
Perfect. So he's now face to face with Gil. He's still within that 5-foot range of Sigg, so no attack opportunity there. And he swipes out at Gil, having just been attacked by Gil's rapier. And he rolls a 19.
Take a hit.
Doing 3 piercing damage. He then he looks back at Sigg and swipes out in the other direction, and rolls a 12. And that just sort of parries off the shield Sigg held in front of him. The other ruffian comes running into the room, and you can hear the scurrying of ruffians in the hallway.
Oh my god.
The ruffian sort of sees his friend taking a swipe at Sigg and moves to attack Byron.
Rude.
He sort of, as he entered the room, he sort of looks at everybody and picks who he thinks is the weakest of the bunch, and he sort of walks in, looks at you, starts, "Oh, this is gonna be right easy." And as he walks forward, Sigg gets an attack of opportunity on his back.
Does Gil as well?
Oh yeah, I guess you will. Okay, yeah, we'll
Just
deal with
murder
that.
him before he reaches me, please.
Ooh, that looks like it might happen. As as the ruffian turns his back to Sigg, a roll of 23 sees that warhammer just cracking him on the back of the skull, and he's kind of dazed and steadies himself on the barrels in front of the Baron. Gil, you get to swipe out with your rapier. See what we can go on here.
Poke him.
I rolled a 13.
Yeah, the Redbrand that's face to face with you sees you swipe out and just with his sword smacks your rapier making it lose its kind of its guide where it was guiding to go. Trajectory. That is the word. That's the word for today. We're going to put that up on the screen. Trajectory, kids. Learn that one. Baron, Random Origins is giving you their inspiration point.
Whoa.
By the way.
Okay.
But
This
anyway,
never happened before.
the ruffian, dazed with the shock of that warhammer, is going to attack with disadvantage on you there, and he rolls a 15. Now you do have an extra one AC from the barrel.
That's still enough to hit me though.
Ooh, and he kind of like clumsily slams this down and takes 7 damage out of your non-book holding arm.
Oh, that's good. Stay away from my book arm.
And we're back. We're back to the Baron.
Oh, okay. I've never been struck before.
What?
With like
Have you not
so
taken
close
it?
up.
Wow.
Damage back that.
Oh.
Only from a distance. Okay, so I'm gonna reach in my pocket hastily and breathe some dust on him, casting poison spray. So he has to do a Constitution saving throw of 13.
He fails.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't expect him to. Okay, so he does. He gets 1d12 poison damage.
1d12.
Okay, an 8 damage.
Okay, that sort of the toxic spray sort of like infiltrates his face, and he sort of coughs and splutters, and he's the color's sort of draining out of his face, but he is still standing. He's not looking very good at all. Anything else on your turn there, Baron?
No, just hug a barrel.
Hug a barrel. Okay. Lorros. Oh God.
Okay, so in the distance, you've obviously heard that.
Nice.
Lorros is looking a little bit, just a touch angrier than normal, and wow, that's really weird to look at. Sorry, it just made my eyes go a bit blurry. So from this side of the room, I'm just going to charge myself into pretty much the center of the battle, and place myself there. And I'm going to slam my axe into this guy's head. But I'm going to use my reckless attack as well on top of my rage. So rage gives me +2 to melee attack. Reckless attack when I find it. Where is it? I've got so many things to read now. It's so bloody annoying. Sorry. Curse so many cool things. Basically gives me advantage to my strength attack on my to my attack on the first attack on this guy. So I'll do my rage attack with my thing on this guy now, and we can take it with advantage.
Okay.
There it comes.
With
It's a 25.
Whoa.
Crit.
So take that crit into the back of the head in front of Baron, who's about to get a head and brain all over him.
Yeah, the Baron, kind of like having just blown this dust in this guy's face, sees this Redbrand stagger back and lose color from his face and kind of life from his eyes. He was still barely holding on to consciousness when just a small red line forms down the front of his face, and the Redbrand just splits open in half. And you can see through the gore and the brain and the blood stringing the two halves together, Lorros's furious face, axe in hand, peering out through the middle of this Redbrand.
Very good.
That Redbrand is definitely dead. That he's gone.
And I'm going to call it now. Lorros enjoyed that.
Yeah, there we go. There
Oh
we
my
go.
God.
I will say that was probably overkill for that move, for that one guy, but that's okay. That's all right.
That's how I roll.
He needed to die.
So whilst I'm where I am, you guys all have advantage on any attacks to anyone within 5 feet of me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Sigg, it's your turn.
Sigg turns his attention to the Redbrand just to the south of Mr. Lorros, draws up on his hammer, and punches it into his face.
Cool. So what was it? Advantage on everyone? Is that every attack within 5 feet of it? Cool. So roll with advantage, please.
Crits.
Oh!
This is like 3 crits in a row.
Yeah, that's amazing. Having seen Lorros comes darting through and just splitting that guy in half, Sigg sort of holds onto the warhammer, raises it in true Lorros fashion, and just brings it down into the head of the Redbrand standing next to Lorros, killing him, caving his head in, just like leaving nothing but blood and paste on the shoulders of this Redbrand's body as it drops to its knees and then collapses to the ground. Gil, over to you.
I can't remember if I've used this song before, but I'm going to use it again. So looking at Sigg and Lorros, can I tell who's the most damaged?
Lorros and Sigg, I haven't been tracking you guys. I think
I think technically, if I'm tracking it according to the stream, currently Sigg is probably more damaged than I am, because you took 7 on your 12, so you're at 5.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So I'm temporarily at higher than he is.
Okay. So seeing Lorros just kind of charge in, he seems cool. He seems good. So I start singing, "When I get that feeling, I know Siggy needs healing. Siggy needs healing."
I don't think you've done that one. That's very good.
No,
That is beautiful. That is a thing of beauty.
At level 1. Healing for 6 damage.
Nice. Cool. Anything else you'd like to do there, Gil?
No, that's me.
Miraqen.
I'm still a mouse. I'm
Don't
still
stand on
cute.
him. I'm not sure cuteness is going to win us this battle.
I'm a very bloody mouse at this stage.
Cute but bloody.
Yuck. Oh well, might as well make the best of it. I am going to try and reuse an old trick twice and do my best to dash up to the Redbrand in the entrance of the door that's standing next to Lorros and see if I can climb up his body in one speedy action.
Sure. What are you trying to do? Well, tell me what you want to get done.
I can.
Are you trying to get up onto his shoulders again? What are you up to?
Yes.
Just tell me what you'd like to do. Tell me what you're doing.
I'd like to climb up his body as a mouse up onto his shoulders before he even notices it all.
Okay, give us a stealth check because climbing isn't going to be a problem.
Yeah. Now, okay, right. Give me a second. Sorry, I was going to ask a question. I have rolled a.
Oh.
Yeah, as you sort of race towards him, and you go over Lorros's foot and up onto the Redbrand, and the Redbrand notices this mouse, and he just kind of backhands you off the front of his pants, and you just smack into the wall next to him, taking 1 damage.
All right, that was my movement.
Mm.
For my bonus action, I'd like to transform back into my elf form and take out my dagger and use advantage because of Lorros's wolf rage. I'm going to go for the ankle again. I'm feeling good about the ankle.
Oh, man.
Gonna shiv him with a shank and shank him with a shiv.
Yeah. All right. Give us an attack roll.
All right.
With advantage, it is a hit.
Yes, 18.
So you've kind of been hit against the wall, and as you hit, you transform into Miraqen, back into Miraqen self, and as you come down the wall into the ground, you're pulling out your dagger and just like slam it directly into this Redbrand's ankle, and it does seven damage to him.
Nice.
Gotta go for the ankles. I reckon it looked pretty cool, and I've redeemed myself.
I'm just going to reveal all of that.
Still, I'm sitting on the ground.
You're sitting on the ground.
A little bit less dignified than usual.
Yeah, and it is the ruffian's turn, who sees Miraqen sort of prone on the ground.
Prone?
Well, you that's how
You're sitting.
You're basically on the ground.
Okay. Doesn't prone mean face down?
Well, as a mouse, you kind of
lying down.
You got hit into a prone position.
I'm lying down sensually with my hand on my hip.
all about how she looks this one. Jeez.
Yeah. And the Redbrand.
I'm queen of the mice.
What was that?
I'm queen of the mice.
Right. And not caring how sensually you're laying, the Redbrand in front of you, with the incredibly sore ankle, swipes down with his short sword, with advantage due to your position on the ground, and rolls a 20.
Ooh.
And he slashes into the side of you, doing 3 damage.
Could have been worse.
And he rolled his 20 and does 3. What's the waste?
The Redbrand behind him sort of looks to the Redbrand that just attacked you and says, "Yeah, give her another one." And he looks back at his friend, laughs, and slashes down on you one more time. Yeah, he does. He rolls 16 again, doing 3 more damage.
Oh, my side.
It's the Baron's turn.
Oh, I can't use my big hitter move because people are too close to them. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on
I do
the one
like-
that's next to Miraqen.
I do like Toll the Dead. Let's play that
So
animation.
yeah,
So good.
Wisdom save of 13.
Love the new one, Baron.
Oh,
Oh.
bong.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
So that is a 12 that was rolled.
Oh, okay. So he takes 1d12 damage because he's been hit before.
He
Otherwise
has
it'd be
been,
1d8. And that is 2
So
2 damage.
you can see the
Wow,
Redbrand is sort of like looking around a little confused at what he can hear, but he doesn't seem to be too disturbed by it. We're back at the top. Oh no, we're almost back at the top of the turn order. Lorros, you have another go.
Yeah, cool. So still raging and seeing this guy here essentially attacking Miraqen. Fool, he should have taken advantage and attacked me, but nonetheless, he wasted that chance. So I'm just going to spin around and swipe my axe through the door, and if I have to take a chunk out of the door, I don't care. I'm going to take his head off if I can.
Yeah, cool. Give us a roll.
Great action. Rage, here we come. It is a... Oh, God, I wish I had advantage again. It's the 13.
Yeah,
Damn it.
13. Unfortunately, because you're aiming for his head, you're swinging wide, and you just kind of like clang into the doorway. And while you manage to splinter off a few chips of rock, you don't manage to do any sort of damage to the Redbrand.
Damn short buildings.
We're at the top of the order. All right, Sigg. You've just like brained someone beautifully with the warhammer. That could be the most violent death that you've done.
Sigg wonders if he can reach the Redbrand just outside the door.
You can attempt it, that's for sure. He's basically in 3/4 cover, so he's going to be pretty hard to hit.
Is Miraqen up against a wall, or is there a hallway behind her?
She's up against the wall.
Sigg has his hammer in his hand, and he flips it up the other way around, and with the pointy end, he stabs it between Lorros' hands and the arms and stuff, and jabs him in the doopy.
Okay. give us a roll to hit.
A 22.
And the doopy is severed. You have severed the Redbrand's doopy well and truly. With a roll of 22 and 11 damage, the Doopy falls to the floor. He bleeds out completely. He drops to a heap.
Oh, this is fabulous.
And kind of partially lays on some of Miraqen's body at the same time. Just falls into a heap on top of Miraqen. So that is another dead Redbrand. You guys are just destroying these guys.
It's amazing what happens when you've got advantage, eh?
And for those wondering, a Doopy is whatever you want it to be. Isn't that right, Reece? That's right.
Indeed, sir.
Anything else you'd like to do with that?
We all know what we want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll head back to Gil. From your vantage point, you can see through the doorway just the sort of feet, and maybe this a small hint of one more Redbrand making its way down the corridor.
I'm just going to prance between these two, assuming you let me pass.
Prance? It's, of course. Prancing, of course, you can...
Excuse me? Pardon me? I show up here.
If I had a habit...
Unless they're going to stop me from moving through their space.
Anyone? Any objections?
No.
No.
You did it so delicately. It was you know...
And then with my rapier drawn, I call out to this Redbrand and I say, "This is not going to go how you think. Surrender now."
Give me an intimidation check.
That is not one of the skills I got better at. A 10.
The Redbrand sort of face to face with you just sort of sneers. He's like, "Oh, buddy, you're right. It's not going to go well for one of us, that's for sure." Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Did that use my action?
That is your action. That's right.
In that case, no, nothing else.
Miraqen.
How trapped am I under this dead red
Not
rat?
very. He's just fallen partially on you. Like he's pretty easy to get out from underneath.
Right.
It was just a little bit of flavor text, a little flavor for those listening.
I clutch my side in agony and groan, and yet I stagger forward towards the Redbrand. I crawl forward. I've become close to the ground. Feels right. I'm still thinking like a mouse. Yet for my bonus action, I'd like to dual wield my dagger and my scimitar. And again, I've just got to go for the ankles.
All right, we're really going to try and sever those feet. So you kind of crawl to the side of Gil, I guess?
Yes.
Oh, 23 and a 20. My God, you're good.
Ooh.
So
Do I have advantage?
I was going to say, so
You have advantage.
you've got
So
that
he's with
advantage.
5 feet
Oh,
of movement.
I'm next to Lorros. This is amazing.
Wait,
Well, they are next to.
It's with
Lorros.
anyone within 5 feet of me.
well,
So,
Oh my
wait a
God.
second. I just want to slow it all down just a little bit. Let's all just slow down
I
because
see 5 feet.
I'm reading over the description you've put there, Lorros.
Yeah.
It says any creature within 5 feet of you, so you, Lorros, that is hostile to you.
They're all hostile to me.
Yeah, they're definitely hostile to him.
To him,
They're hostile to my party. They're hostile to my party. Therefore, they're hostile to me.
Agree.
Unless we can make friends with them.
He's
They count as hostile.
to kill.
I
This
was
Redbrand wants to kill everyone but Lorros, who he respects.
I'm happy for you to rule that he's not going to attack me, but he's going to attack everyone else.
I'm just
That's
saying
fine.
he doesn't know Lorros is even in that room, is what I'm saying.
But he's hostile to the
I
party.
don't know about this interpretation at all.
Yeah, in D&D, this is like legalese, this hostile term. There's hostile, friendly, and
Okay.
there's some indifferent.
Okay, well, we'll say that this Redbrand is hostile. So that is 2 attacks with your dagger.
No, an attack with a dagger and a scimitar.
The dagger and the scimitar.
Double.
So I pierce and I slash.
You sort of come down with the dagger into the top of his foot and just slice through the ankle with the scimitar.
Oh,
And that completely separates. And this guy falls back onto the stairs cracks his head open onto the stairs, and just dies then and there.
What?
That was
I
16.
told him it wasn't going to go how he thought.
I mean, that was 16 damage.
Strikes again.
16 damage. That's brutal. Anyway, the combat is over.
That's got to be my best damage turn ever, I should think.
Yeah, that was pretty
That
great.
was impressive. I'm just trying to read when my rage ends. I always struggle to remember.
It's if you don't attack.
If I don't attack my next turn, it ends. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or there's some
after a
exceptions
minute.
with frenzied rage and stuff, but
Yeah, which come later.
All right, so the combat's over. Since you won't be attacking again, Lorros, I'm assuming your rage is subsiding. Again, you've just got bodies piling up around you. There's kind of blood everywhere. What would you... And Miraqen, you again, you remember the bubbling sounds that remind you of what you saw in the room north of you.
Yes. A big grey rat. Hardly the most important thing on my mind right now. I'm bleeding.
So I think feeling a little bit more calm now, Laura says, I'm just going to suggest that we get ourselves back into the room and maybe drag some of these bodies in with us to avoid attracting any more attention than we already have.
Let's keep killing and dragging into the room until we
Yeah,
literally
we'll just
can't
keep
move.
stacking in part. I suggest we stack the bodies against the other door because I heard some
this is like
sounds
some
there.
sort of grim Sims game.
I'm just gonna break the fourth wall for a moment here with you guys. You've already had 2 short rests today. You've had a long rest and 2 short rests. You've attempted a 3rd short rest. There won't be. You will continue being interrupted if you try to rest.
Yeah, I don't think about like resting. I just think we need to get the bodies out away and to avoid obviously the fact that people, if they're walking along, they're going to see dead bodies. Let's just clear them out of the way and maybe move on out of this room. And maybe
I don't know if we can even hide. There's just blood everywhere.
Yeah,
Can
but
we
if
They're
we
going to
block
go
the
to their
door-
room. They're going to go into their room. If
but
they
if we
come
block
this
that
far,
other
they're not
door,
going
people
to
can't
stop
come
at the
through.
stairs.
No, but if we block that other door, people can't come through.
You've got
And
dead
that's
bodies in the entranceway to the to this hideout. You've got
The
a
entire way.
You've got a dead Nothic surrounded by some Redbrand body parts. You've got
Alright,
zombie goblins, bugbears.
Dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah,
We'd need a lot of bleach, I think, to cover our tracks here.
yeah.
I'd say we press on.
Okay,
It's
can we
clear
quickly
that
search?
we're not going to get any respite while we're here.
Definitely.
Can we search the
Yeah.
dead bodies before we depart?
Yeah, by all means, they're carrying all the stock standard Redbrand gear that you've come to know. The short sword with the R inscribed on the end of the handle. You've got they've each got like small pouches that have kind of whatever money they've got on them, and on these 4 you find a total of 20 gold pieces.
Cool. All right. While we're still alive, then, Miraqen, in your wanderings, what did you see and find?
Well, I went through that door over there and I saw some sort of setup, some kind of scientific setup, and I fled back in as I knew I had to get back to you guys. But I don't know, there was just a rat in there. I didn't want to get involved with the rat. You know, mice and rats, they don't mix. Or do they? I don't know. But it's ugly.
I believe they might be mortal enemies, but yeah. War Scholar, would you like to check the scientific room out? Maybe it would be a good idea for us to make sure it wasn't hiding anything more obvious.
Indeed, Mr. Lorros. I shall enter. Perhaps you should watch the staircase to our right.
Sure, I can do that.
Can I ready an action?
Sure.
I'd like to read an action to cast silence.
Ooh.
Okay. What are you reading? What are you waiting for to?
If I see someone who I think could cast spells, I will cast silence.
Cool.
And I would quickly like to use healing word on myself and utter some elvish words as I attempt to knit back together my damaged torso.
Okay.
If I can Do
and
the thing.
I'm going to cast a spell called False Life on myself. And that will give me some temporary hit points of 13. Ooh, maximum.
Baron, nice.
It's casting at level 2.
Oh, nice. That's really good. Okay.
13, so I'm maxed out.
Wow.
An hour.
Killing bird is terrible.
Is that 3 ones? Oh, no. No.
Wow, healing word is really
three.
Three. I didn't
You've done it too many times.
this, but I have a 3.
Okay.
Healing word always lets you down every single time.
I think Sock Merchant would have something to say about Healing Word. I think he's not a big fan of it either.
It's nice because it's a bonus action and it's ranged.
It can bring people back to life, I suppose.
That's why I
right?
thought it would be so useful, but I haven't really utilized it well.
It's not great if for like replacing hit points.
Mm.
For the number of times that Lorros dies, it could well be useful.
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
That is true.
I'm
They'll bring you back.
surprised. I'm surprised that that last battle Lorros didn't get attacked. I think Miraqen distracting the Redbrand probably saved Lorros's life.
All right,
Because
so
I would have been attacked with advantage, but no.
so with the healing spells going off, what are the rest of you? So Sig, were you about to head into this room?
Sigg pushes the door open with his hammer.
Okay, let's reveal this room. Cool. Okay, so this room appears to be, from what you can tell, Sig, a wizard's workshop. There's a small rat sort of scoots across the floor and takes a refuge under the large work table in the middle of the room. There's on that table, it looks like there's just a bunch of distillation coils and things that look like you'd find in some sort of chemistry workshop, I guess. Alchemic devices. It's all stewing and bubbling away. And the bookshelves up against and shelving up on the west wall are just crowded with parchments and strange-looking tomes.
Sigg is super keen to look at the tomes, but takes a tactical approach, enters the room and watches the door on the right bit. Come in, everyone.
All right.
I shall enter.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to stay guarding the door, guarding the stairs for the moment.
I'd
Okay.
like to have a look at that rat again. Can I
Yeah.
perceive anything unusual about it?
Give me a
He is a
perception.
rather cute little fellow.
Give me a perception check.
Perception? All right.
Oh,
20.
Double 20s.
From what you can tell, it is absolutely a rat. There doesn't seem to be visually it doesn't look odd in any way. But as you lock eyes with it, you notice that it locks eyes with you, and that's not a normal kind of rodent thing. It's not like worried about everything that's happening around you. It's focused right on you, and out of nowhere, it just sort of bolts and runs towards the door on the eastern wall.
Stop it.
Am I able to try and stop it?
Yeah, if you'd like. How would you like to stop it?
With my foot?
Well, you're on the south wall. It'd be a race to get to the.
Hmm.
I think Sig's holding up his hammer. Sig,
I
did you want
initially
to?
thought it was a rather cute fellow. Now I'm not so sure.
Well, I mean,
Would I be able to cast a spell?
Sure. What spell would you want to cast?
Animal friendship?
ooh.
Okay, I'll let you cast that.
Watch me fail at this.
I'm assuming this uses a spell slot, yeah?
It does.
Okay.
But I want that rat to be my friend. All right. The spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. No farm.
No
You're
farts.
going to the farm, kiddo.
I mean, you're not far.
If its intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed.
What's the so I would have to roll. What's your spell?
Well, first
DC?
of all, is it intelligence 4 or
It's
higher?
a rat. It's not intelligent. It's a rat.
Well, it seems intelligent.
Then it
It
fails.
has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, but what's your wisdom or spell DC?
12.
Is it 12?
What
is
he
it?
said. It is. It's 12.
All right, so something kind of peculiar happens as you cast this spell. There's an almost strange magical resistance with this rat, and you it's not only stopping the spell from being successful, but it's also just stopping you from being able to cast this spell, and it just runs towards Sigg in the doorway.
Stop that rat! Stop that rat!
I'm gonna try and dive down and grab it.
Okay, we're about to. Oh, you're in there as well. Okay, yeah, cool.
Does that mean Miraqen doesn't expend his spell slot?
Yeah, so in this case, I'm going to say your spell slot wasn't expended with that. Byron, you can give us a dexterity.
Yeah, I wasn't in the other room. Okay, I grabbed that guy. Okay. What did I get? A 10.
You just sort of like comically slide across the ground behind this rat as it like scampers
Flavor.
away. Yeah.
Let's not pretend that a 10 is bad.
No, I know.
That's the skills.
But it's also a fast rat.
I'm just going to skid along into the other wall.
Okay. You didn't want to be right in front of Sigg with his hammer? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, true. I didn't want to be.
Alright, Sigg's gonna roll a d20 to determine what he thought Miraqen meant by stop.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Sub 10.
Oh no!
He's gonna
Stop.
put his shield down to block the rat escaping from the door. Over 10, he will crush its life.
Oh,
Sigg rolls a 7.
Hey,
He
block.
drops to his knees and plants the shield in front of him, preventing the rat from leaving the room.
Can you give me a dex check as well?
Indeed. Dexterity roll of 18.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, cool. You bring the shield down, crashing down right in front of it, and it sort of like startles it, and it stops in its tracks.
There's something off with this rat. It's not. This is no real rat. This
Pick
is
it
no
up,
mere
Sigg.
beast.
Pick it up by the tail.
Miraqen, do we kill it?
No.
All right.
This may be a
While you guys are talking, it
Well,
scoots towards the south wall.
Can I react before it does?
Sure.
I go, "Ee, a rat!" And I
And you just-
Don't just skewer it.
yeah, I tried to skewer my rapier.
roll to hit.
Fucking hell. Oh dear.
I don't trust this rat anyway.
And they roll an 11.
Yeah, you just
He's
hit
so
the stonework next to it and that snaps it into its like back into what it was trying to do, and it scoots towards the southern wall, the southern door.
Dirty rats.
Loris is standing.
Sorry, there was
Loris-
a lot of talking. Loris, what's going on?
Right. Loris is standing at their door. So
Okay.
if the rat tries to come anywhere near it, I'm literally going to put my hand in front of it and catch it. Like, if it's running towards me, I'm just going to catch it in my hand.
Okay, well, we'll give Miraqen... Is it Miraqen anything you wanted to do before it gets... Because it's making its way down towards that door right now.
Is there time for me to pull off a thorn whip?
you can totally thorn whip it.
I'm
It
gonna
sounds
get
so
that rat.
dodgy. Sounds so dodgy. Pull off a thorn whip.
Baron's line.
Hey, Byron, no
Yeah,
metagaming.
whenever you say pull off, it's oh no.
No
Alright, I'm gonna
metagaming.
pull off that rat.
Where,
Wait,
where did you find
just
that
saying.
out?
I'm looking at
What Google search did you find that on?
same as dice and die.
Alright, I'm going to cast the cantrip thorn whip.
All right.
Try and grab the rat.
Oh,
Stop it in
yeah.
its tracks, pull it back towards me where it belongs.
And it does 3 piercing damage, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that...
And this
The thorn whip just like shoots out, wraps around this rat, and as it pulls it towards you, it just shreds this thing into a
Oh.
red
Oh,
mist.
Beautiful.
Almost the instant that rat dies, you hear scurrying. You kind of hear like some sounds from like the door to your east.
It's great Foley.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was like someone playing on the bongos.
It's just a guy on
someone's
some
getting
bongos.
jazzy out.
Someone's having a party in the other room.
Sigg, let's go.
Wow. That was unexpected. I wondered if it was a shape changer, but he would not have died if that small amount of damage hurt him.
Sigg stands up and 300 kicks the door in.
Ooh, that was very nice.
300.
Okay.
Power of 3.
The power of 3.
Times 100.
All right, I'm just revealing what's behind door number 3.
I'm hoping it's nothing powerful because we're really not in any state. Oh, fuck.
All right, Sigg. As you burst into this room, you can see you're in some sort of bed chamber. And it's covered with sort of drapes of bright scarlet red cloth. The furnishings include a small writing desk up against that northern wall with a nice matching chair that looks like to be made of a nice oak. It's very well crafted. A comfortable looking bed against that sort of southern wall, and a wooden chest, partially sort of like just slightly open or slightly ajar at the foot of the bed. What you can also see is a dark bearded human covered in robes, opening up what looks like a secret door in the wall to the east.
Dude, stop it.
And he's clutching a tome under one arm and a ornately sculpted staff with a beautiful glass sort of crystal atop it. And what you notice as he sort of runs is just a couple of pieces of parchment fall from his tome as he makes his way into this corridor.
Can Sigg react?
Sure.
Sigg will
Does he?
listen to Byron, then.
I was just gonna say, does he laugh nefariously as he goes to his secret door?
No. He's clearly a bit panicked.
Oh, okay.
Get him, Sigg. Get him.
Sigg will rush into the room, calling, "Wait!" and run after him.
Okay.
That rat must have
do
been
I-
a scout or spy.
Do I reach him?
As you start running across the hallway yelling, he too is running into that corridor.
Oh, he's going down the hallway.
Do any of us get to react, or
Well, Sigg was standing square in that doorway. By the time Sigg has entered that room, you guys can't see what he's running after. Or you know that he's running after something and he has shouted, "Wait."
I think clearly we need to follow him into the room hurriedly.
yeah, agreed.
Let's all race after him
Okay.
to our peril.
It's like the wacky racers chasing the pigeon, or the dastardly chasing the pigeon, like cats and pigeon. There you go. Someone got the reference.
Scooby Doo, where the same background loops around. Same table keeps going past.
Or the usual open the doors, close the doors in a hallway kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
What we'll do is we'll go into initiative. I think is probably the safest bet here.
I'd like, just before we do that, I'd like to point out that we've broken our record. We've now gone into 2 rooms in one session.
I'm to 3.
That's for what?
Can we make it to 3?
We might get down the stairway and into 3. That's for everyone who says that we play D&D slowly.
I rolled a 14.
Initiative.
Sigg rolls a 3.14. He's hungry.
Is that pie?
Nice, it is. Roll for pie.
Sigg got a 3.
High right now.
Was that a crit? That's a crit fail on initiative.
It is.
Focus
I
on the 3, Mr. Lorros. Focus on the 3.
It just concerns me that it's red. That's like
True, it's a good point. We don't have any punishments for
No,
crit initiatives.
I rolled an 8.
Right,
Okay.
the guy in front is going to go last. Perfect.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what we want.
So Baron, you're at the
I got a
top of
21.
you're at the top of the turn order here.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Well,
You're like, that is correct.
all right. So
I had
I
it,
know
Harold.
this door, the secret door, is open, right? And everyone's running towards it. I'm just going to keep on moving. And boom.
As you make your way past, again, you didn't notice this until you sort of passed Sigg, but there are a couple of small pieces of parchment you notice on the floor as you make your way past Sigg.
Can I scoop them up as I run?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And read while I run, like I'm catching a bus.
Yeah. Okay, so one of them,
like reading.
one of them has, one has just like a picture of a goblin on it. A really kind of randomly drawn. It looks kind of really rough, but the language you don't recognize at all. But it's kind of like it looks like a damaged goblin that has managed to stand, basically. The other
I don't notice the language because I do know one language.
No,
extra language.
What language do you know?
Oh, apparently I know some other.
Abyssal.
This one.
I know Abyssal.
Yeah, that's unfortunately not the language of this scroll.
Just checking.
Yeah. The other one is written just in common, and it's the Ray of Sickness. It's written across the top.
Oh,
Ray of Sickness.
Ray of Sickness. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Ray of Sickness.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a necromancer.
Really sick.
And we will just reveal.
Apparently, I know Elven and Dwarven as well, just in case.
Okay. That might
Does that
come in
look like
handy, but not for
Four
this
of us
spell.
knows Elven? Hands up those who know Elven.
And who know the other chipmunks?
How many chickens are there?
I know Simon, but Theodore's not like a massive fan.
Theodore's
He's the best one.
yeah.
I can
I
actually
agree.
play with the chipmunks.
It's like the Donatello of the
The
chipmunks.
reason I ask is that it means that three of us can understand what Miraqen says when she's whispering to herself about trying to heal herself. That's my main point. Sigg's
Did you
probably
say
the
it
only one
was-
out of the loop.
Ray of Sickness, is that what you said?
Ray of Sickness, yeah.
Sick. All right, let's go. I've written it down so I don't forget.
All right, perfect. All right, so you've run into this corridor. You're seeing Glasstaff, or who you can only assume is Glasstaff, considering he's holding a glass
If
staff.
he isn't, then he's stealing someone else's gimmick.
yeah.
He's an identity thief. Get him.
And he again is basically he's at the top of this stairwell with his hands kind of searching on the wall.
Oh, okay. So he's searching on the wall.
Yeah.
So there's no door there.
No, well, you can't see any doors at the top of that staircase.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna say, "Halt, Iano." Any response from?
I mean, we can wait for his turn.
Yeah. Okay. But I was just gonna see if he like. Huh.
Okay.
If it, like if you say someone's name, they go. Huh.
Okay.
I am going to cast a spell on him. I'm going to cast Ice Knife at level 2.
A level 2 ice knife.
Yes.
Nice
Vicious.
knife.
Nice. But okay, so make a ranged attack spell. I'm pretty sure. So 1d 25. Yep. Okay, let's see if this hits. A 20.
Oh, that is definitely a hit. Nice roll.
Awesome. So I think the first attack is the same. So that does 1d10 piercing damage. Let's see what that got. Take this, Iano. 10.
Oh, it's great damage.
Damn, all right. Holy
Okay.
crap.
And then
Baron is here to
there's a
play.
second hit. So when you cast the spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, the cold damage increased by 1d6 for each spell slot above. So it is 3d6.
Holy
One
crap.
shot this
He's
guy.
got 18
Come on.
damage. Come on, roll it big. 28, smash him.
Use your inspiration.
Oh, do that.
I think he has to do a save.
He has to do a dex
So
save.
can I use my inspiration for the save? So for Dex of 13.
I don't think you can use it to disadvantage someone, right?
Oh my goodness! Look at
No,
that
probably
damage.
not.
All right. He has rolled a 15. He's managed to avoid.
Ah, okay.
So unfortunate.
I'm really.
He avoided 13 damage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, I know.
So that ice knife just shoots up the stairs and hits him directly, sort of in the neck, and just like he kind of
I'm
jolts
gonna play the video.
to the side. I've already played it for the
I'm gonna play it for me.
Okay. That's fair. That's
Play
fair.
it for me.
Nice.
And he just looks down the stairs at you and snarls. You're not sure if he recognized the name you called out, or if he's just pissed off from the ice knife to the neck.
Okay, it's hard to read.
He's got a bit of a chill on his neck now, a bit of a cold neck. You know,
Oh, yeah.
so the stiff neck.
Oh yeah.
That might hurt when he turns around next time.
But Baron, you do realize that he does fit the description that Sildar gave you.
But do we actually trust what Sildar said to us?
Well, that's up to you. He's given you a description of Sildar and of Iano, and you've found someone holding a Glasstaff that looks like that description. Whether you trust Sildar or not, that's another thing.
And the other Redbrand, he gave it away, didn't he? So, okay, I'm going to run out here and say there's definitely a wizard in there.
guys.
Guys, it's a wizard.
Wait, where did you originally run from? You were out here, weren't you?
How
Just
far
there,
have you traveled?
next to from here to here. Oh, not to the other
So
room.
from here to there is 13.
Well, that's if
Yeah,
he
I
goes
can go.
over the desk, so you'd have to go around the desk.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I can
So from
slide
there to
under
there's
it.
5, 10,
I can go 30. So
Yeah.
whatever.
5, 10, 15. Yeah, there's plenty of room.
All
You
right,
can go
Gil, it's your turn.
there. In and out.
It's either gonna go super well or super poorly.
I
Oh,
know.
God.
But either way, let's do it.
Here we go.
This is Dungeons and Dragons. So I step into the room and I look up the stairs at him. What do I see?
You see him kind of with his hands on the wall, bleeding from the neck, trying to find something. He looks like he's trying to find something on the wall.
I say,
Sorry, carry on.
I call out and I say, Glasstaff, I suggest you surrender. And I cast suggestion on him.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a big long spell.
So I suggest
Whoa.
perspectivity.
Let's have a look.
And I magically influence a creature. So if he's immune to being charmed or he's immune to this effect, as long as basically my read of it, as long as I'm not asking him to like harm himself, then
Wisdom
the
saving throw.
suggestion is reasonable, given people are like chasing after him
Yeah.
and
And
not in superior numbers.
what does he have to roll?
He needs to beat a 13.
17.
Oh, this guy's good.
It saves.
And
Okay,
he looks down in your direction, and he says, "Maybe we could just forget about all of this. Maybe." And he just continues back against the wall, searching on the wall.
That's my turn.
Lorros.
Just not that I want to point it out, but Soccer's kindly mentioned that moving through friends apparently is treated as difficult terrain.
Correct.
Just wanted to. I didn't know that, so I thought I'd let you know just in case you wanted to play it that way. But...
I had read that recently as well.
Okay, cool. So right then, so I don't know how you're gonna. Given I've now got 3 friends to charge through. Clearly, I'm going to continue charging through where Sigg and Gil have gone, if I'm allowed to, and try and get as close to this Glasstaff chap as I can.
What's your movement? 30.
Yes.
With them is difficult terrain.
I don't know how that's treated. Is it like double?
So it's half
your movement.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's 15.
So each person will
So you
draw
could
a
basically
count
end
of
up
10.
side by side with Gil.
I can get there and I can throw a spear at him.
By all means.
I feel that seems worthwhile. So if I'm allowed to sort of park myself here, and I'm going to hurl.
I'm gonna tell you something before you decide what you're wanting to do here, Dave. You're in a cramped corridor, trying to throw a spear. You can, but it will be with disadvantage.
How high is the if I'm throwing it like that? How high would what are the dimensions of the room?
The top of the stairs is a good 10 foot up from where you currently are. Okay. The whole room is maybe 20 foot high, but the little corridor, you and Gil are squeezed in a small 5 foot space right now while you're trying. So you can throw, but it will be at disadvantage.
No, I'm willing. I'm willing to take that chance. I'm gonna just throw one of my javelins at disadvantage. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
It's a 25 or a 20, so do with that what you will.
That's a 20.
Oh, that's not bad.
All right, so that javelin.
I would have preferred the crit, but
yeah. That crit would have been.
That is the third that I've rolled tonight.
There you go, 3, the magic number.
that was really frustrating, isn't it?
You somehow managed to get this javelin out on your way to Gil, and as you stand and sort of like slide in next to him, you just launch that javelin up the stairs, and that sort of attaches into or glances through the thigh of Glasstaff, and he lets out of a bit of a scream on that one.
It does 4 damage.
It has done 4 damage. Miraqen.
I suppose there's not much I can do. I
yeah.
I'll run into the corridor. Call out, what's going on?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to fit in there as well, unfortunately.
Does anyone hear me?
Yeah.
I guess we'll answer now too. Sigg knows what's going on.
So, is there any specific action you'd like to take?
Can we respond?
Yeah, sure.
We have a wizard to kill.
Glasstaff is here. Entangle him! Entangle him!
I can't entangle what I can't see, and I fear I'll entangle you all also.
It's a risk we're worth taking. Just do it.
Can you turn into a mouse?
Can I peer around the corner?
Turn into a mouse and run up behind him.
I already used all my sweet mouse juice.
The mouse juice.
Mouse juice. Oh, God.
So what's the rules with entangle? You have to aim it at something.
Bring that up for everyone to read.
I think you can center it somewhere 20 foot square.
So if I was to peek around the corner and cast it, I do have a 20 foot square radius that will be entangled.
That's quite a big split. That's 4 of these squares. That's quite a big size.
Yeah.
If I was
it's a 4x4.
I would have to center it on my comrades, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah.
Well, either way, even if you center it on the bad guy, you're going to entangle us.
Yeah.
That's a risk we're willing to take. I mean, they said throw the javelin, so I said do it. I said do it.
I would like... Oh, I'm hearing myself echoing.
It's like magic voice.
Yeah, I think that's
engaged.
For some reason, Dave's system always has sometimes kicks up an echo. Unfortunately,
I think Glasstaff cast an echoing spell on me. I think it's gone now. If I use my inspiration, will that help me on his strength saving throw, or does it not work that way?
Do you have an inspiration point?
I've been holding on to an inspiration point since last.
I need to go to the rule books. I don't think I've used inspiration.
Can we use the sock merchant rule book? He thinks so, yeah.
It doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, all right. Well, then I won't.
Okay.
And oh no, his echoing spell is back again.
Yeah.
All right, he has to make a strength check. Everyone in range has to make a strength check.
What?
It's fine by me. Strength is one of those things. Is it a strength
spell
save?
save? So it's a strength check against my spell save of 12.
Okay, so just roll strength.
So we just roll strength.
I believe so.
Alright.
Ask the DM.
I roll. Oh, for fuck's
Strength,
sake! I rolled a
strength
10.
save. Not
strength
strength.
save.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank God for that.
Oh, not a check. Okay.
All right, strength save coming up of Reece, 24.
I better say.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is looking bad for my friend.
You crit failed. Why did you crit fail on that?
What's everyone rolled?
I got an 11.
I
So
got the
that-
9.
You're
So
both
crit
entangled.
failed.
So crit failed.
This is
The look
bad.
on the DM's face means maybe Glasstaff didn't fail.
We'll find out next week.
Oh, what?
No!
Perfect timing.
Sorry. The timing
Throw
was
the
too
computer out the
good.
window.
The timing was too good. I had to.
Well played. Well
Yeah.
played.